All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Kings of the Queen City podcast. I believe this is episode 5. Today, I'm going to be joined again by Liam, who was one of our guests last week. And my friend Gianni Dalton is going to be coming in late as he'll be coming on from hockey practice. So some of the topics we're going to cover today are some of the comments exchanged between LeBron James and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who are two very large, influential sports figures in the world. I'm also going to talk about the Jeff Skinner and Ralph Kruger drama that's gone on for about a week now. Skinner just played in his first game after being scratched for 3 straight. And then I'm also going to talk about my preferred top 3 destinations for Deshaun Watson if he is to get traded from the Texans organization and where I think he would fit the best. Liam, what other topics did you have to cover?
Just talk quickly about Tiger Woods and his accident, and then we got the basketball All-Star weekend coming up, so we could talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, and then depending on how long the podcast is rolling after all those things are discussed, we're going to try and rank all 31 NHL goal horns from which ones we think sound the best to which ones are just absolutely ugly and should be gotten rid of forever. So we can just hop right into it then. So first to discuss, this was sort of trending. I think it all started maybe like 3 days ago about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who is currently a striker for AC Milan in Italy, basically came out, and I don't remember if it was directed at LeBron or if I think it was just directed at like influential athletes in general. But he basically told athletes, like, you're getting paid to do what you love to do. You don't have to voice your opinion on politics happening in your country. Like, stick to doing things that you're good at, basically. And LeBron James responded by saying, well, with me having this much influence on the platform that I'm presented on, like, I'm never going to shut up. I'm going to be able to speak my mind and hopefully, inspire change in others. And so, I don't know. This is definitely a debatable topic, especially like LeBron James. I watched his little mini interview that he had about it, and he said that he had quote unquote done his homework before like staging a response to give to him. And he knows that he dug up that Ibra in the past has talked about how Ibra himself had been discriminated against in his home country of Sweden because his last name is Balkan. I think one of his parents is Serbian, so that would explain why his last name is like that. And he said that he's experienced some form of discrimination in his home country before. So LeBron James basically came out and said, "Oh, well, you're telling everyone else to shut up about it, but you in the past have also talked about this before." So, I mean, it's a little bit of a debatable topic. Like, I kind of agree with both of them in a sense. Like, I'm all for professional athletes trying to inspire change in others and help other people find to do what's right for their culture and their country and all that. But at the same time, I definitely agree with Ibra where he's like, if you're not educated on something, you shouldn't speak on it just because your voice is heard more than others.
That's what a lot of people just talk out their ass and don't know what they're talking about. They just have their platform where they can voice their opinions. But I don't know. LeBron's done a whole lot for his community back home, and obviously a bunch of underprivileged kids. So I mean, he knows everyone knows he's active in the communities and stuff. So he definitely knows what he's doing. In this case, I think he's completely in the right. He said he did his homework. He did research. He knows what he's talking about. So for this particular instance, I think he's 100% in the right.
Yeah, and one thing too, when I was like kind of looking at all the different posts, because obviously all the sports accounts are posting about it and all the media and all that stuff. Right. I was looking at it too, and the comment sections seemed to be pretty split on every post that I was looking at. Like, a lot of people were talking about how, oh, he didn't like directly mean it as they shouldn't get involved like within their community and stuff, but he's just saying that they shouldn't get involved in the country's politics and stuff like that. And like, I somewhat see that too. But then on the other hand, like, maybe one, if not both of them, should have specified what exactly his point was to get across, because a lot of people were interpreting it as, oh, just because you're an athlete doesn't mean you should try and make change. And I don't think that's at all what Ibra was trying to say. I think he was just trying to say, like, stay out of literal politics, like Democrat, Republican stuff,
Right.
type of that. And, like, to an extent, like I said, I kind of agree with him, but LeBron James does a lot more than just speak his voice on general politics. Like, he does do a lot, like you said, for the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely agree with some points from both sides, but I 100% agree with LeBron's response. I think it was well thought out, and I think he definitely, like I said, did his homework to figure out what he could say back that wouldn't come off as, like, offensive or anything like that.
Yeah, right. And I mean, like, for that particular point, like, politics don't need to be in sports, in my opinion. Like, yeah, sure, you have, like, your platform and you can voice, but that's not how you should go about it. It should be, I don't know, I guess it should be the politicians who gain your trust and your vote, not your favorite sports star telling you that you should do whatever you want.
Yeah, I completely agree. It shouldn't have to be like, oh, well, my favorite, just for example, just say like a Bills player, like say Josh Allen is like, oh yeah, I was all for voting for Joe Biden. Like, I highly advise you guys to do that too. Like, no, I don't think if an athlete ever does that, like, I really don't think that should be done. Like, you should be able to formulate your own opinions and like stuff like that. However, I know like a lot of athletes speak their mind on who they support, but it shouldn't have to be like, oh, just because I support someone means that I should just go along with whatever they do. Like,
Yeah.
You still have your own voice at the end of the day, even if it's not as influential as theirs, and you still have your own brain, so you can still make your own thoughts. So, like,
For sure.
just because you like them doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but you can at least, what's the word? You can at least, like, respect them, I guess.
Yeah, and like that's something similar with Rapinoe, is where she's doing I mean, I guess in my opinion, a lot of good work in that, I guess, what is it?
The LGBTQ community.
Yeah. So yeah, she's definitely, but like I'm pretty sure she's more or less stayed. I mean, I don't know, because she supported LeBron for that in that instance. But I don't know. I feel like for the most part, she's done a good job of supporting that community, but staying out of politics. And I don't know if that's, again, just I guess, different perspectives of each person's comments, but.
Yeah, and I think like one thing too, obviously, Ibrahimovic was over in the U.S. for a couple of years playing for the LA Galaxy too. Like, he might have just said that comment because that's what he sees in Europe every day. Like, maybe over there in Europe, hundreds, if not thousands of sports players and athletes aren't involved in the community and stuff like that, like they are in the US. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's still a lot of athletes over in Europe that do a lot of stuff for the community. Like, I know Marcus Rashford from Man U, he was doing a whole shit ton of stuff to get underprivileged families, like meals and stuff like that in England. But I think over in Europe, the culture definitely has to be different for him to have some sort of opinion like that. Like, maybe he just doesn't see it as much, and he sees a lot more people over in Europe keeping sports and politics separate, and they're able to voice those opinions of theirs in two different thought trains, so people don't like intertwine them and mix them and be like, oh, well, he said that because he's a sports athlete and he has the voice to say that and stuff like that, you know? So, but yeah, I all in all, I would say that both sides definitely had a good point to it, but I would say that the response from LeBron was definitely well thought out, and it wasn't just some made up bull crap to where people would just take it further and be like, oh, now they're going to start beefing because they both don't know what they're talking about and stuff like that. So yeah. But I'm kind of intrigued to see how much further this goes, because I saw one other thing too. I'll try and find the post real quick. It was somebody replied to Ibrahimovic. I think it was Baron Davis, who, if I'm not mistaken, is a former basketball player in the NBA. I'm gonna try and find the post real quick if I can. But he basically came out and said something telling Ibrahimovic basically to shut up, and like LeBron was the bigger man there, and that he was completely right and that he had no idea what he was talking about. Yeah, I can't find it right now, but I'll try and find it later on. But yeah, basically, like, I know a whole lot of people are chiming into it now. I haven't really looked at too many responses from people that have a more influential voice within the sports community and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think so far it's been civil between the two main perpetrators. So the only way I see this like getting to be a bigger thing is if other people make it a bigger thing.
I was just looking at this post and I forgot that a few years ago someone LeBron talked about politics before and someone told him to shut up and dribble. Hey, bro. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember that now that you say that. So
off topic question. Isn't the MLS where like people from the like Barclays or anything like over there come to like retire?
Yeah, a lot of people see it as like a league where all the good players from Europe that are past their prime come to basically just end their career because for whatever reason, people in Europe have the same dream that they have if they weren't in sports where they're like, oh, I need to go like manifest in America. Like I need to go to America because it's the land of opportunity and stuff like that. People in sports, so many like influential athletes that are at the top of their game are all like, yeah, someday I would like to play in America. And like, I honestly don't know why.
I don't either.
The MLS is not nearly as good as those other leagues. I mean, like it's definitely gotten better over the last 4 or 5 years that I've watched it. Like more and more talent is starting to get shipped out to Europe now and loaned out and bought by the other clubs that are top tier for their academy and stuff. But I just don't see the appeal for these athletes that are playing at such a high level for their entire career. And then they just take like 3 or 4 steps down just to go play soccer in America.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of a way to extend the career to the point where they're like they're clearly not the same person they were when they started their career, and then like they had like their glory days or whatever, and then but I mean even as like a good player in Europe, you could come here and I guess what my understanding is play well and not dominate, but at least be good still. Right. So I don't know, maybe that's like all right, I'm done here. I can't, let me go find a lower level league where I can still be like top of the food chain. But
yeah. And that's one thing too that kind of amazes me is Ibrahimovic I think he's almost 40 years old now. And he came to the MLS for 2 years, dominated here, went back to Europe, and now he's actually playing very well at AC Milan again. So like he's still playing well at a top level, even after people thought his career was over because he came to the old man's league, quote unquote. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, just to feather off that, it is definitely getting better, but the MLS still has a lot of work to do to, establish itself as a rising powerhouse league in the world.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. I guess to transition from there, keep going on with sports, obviously. So, as a lot of people might know, I am a Sabres fan, and the Sabres are dog shit right now. I've talked with a few friends. We've discussed like changes we'd love to see and stuff like that. But what I'm going to touch up on is the drama between Jeff Skinner and Ralph Kruger. So Jeff Skinner is a player that we have under contract for $9 million a year right now, which is a very sizable contract. And I think that's for 8 years total. So I think he's in the second year of his contract, maybe the first, I don't even remember. But Jeff Skinner before today in the 3-0 loss to Philadelphia, he was a healthy scratch for 3 straight games, and that was a head coach's decision, so Ralph Kruger's decision. And he basically said it was, let me read it, to focus on basic principles. So I don't know if that's basically like he wasn't carrying out what the coach was preaching in practice, or if his like vision of how he wanted to play forward was the same as how the coach wanted the forwards to play, something like that. But basically, he just scratched him, and he hasn't been playing. And when Ralph Kruger was asked about, why is he benched? Like, did he do something wrong? Like, is this a disciplinary issue? He just said, no, what I'm trying to preach to the team hasn't really been getting across to him. So, we got to make sure that he learns more before he's able to come back out on the ice. And one reporter asked, I'm pretty sure, I don't actually know if it was a reporter's question or not, because I didn't like dig super deep into it. But basically a reporter said, oh, like, is Jeff in your doghouse or whatever? And from the one friend I talked to, he was like, there's no way anybody in the hockey world doesn't know what the term doghouse is. And Ralph Kruger in that presser basically just responded with, oh, I don't know what a doghouse is. Like, no, he's not in my doghouse. I have no idea what that means. Like, I don't even know why you're asking that. I have no idea. And I just kind of thought about that. I was like, well, how is it that everybody in the NHL knows exactly what the term in the doghouse means, except for you, who's a head coach that controls players? So I really don't know what the whole situation is. Like I said, I was talking to my friend who I won't mention. He basically said, like, if you're benching him because he's not playing well and he's not carrying out what you're teaching in practice, how is he going to learn how to do those things in a game if he's not playing in the game in the first place? Mm-hmm. Like, I get it if you were benching him for a disciplinary issue, like, oh, he flipped out on a few teammates in practice and like caused a whole ruckus. Like, okay, that's understandable. But if you scratched him for 3 straight games to not play just because he wasn't following directions or he wasn't doing something that you personally liked in practice, then I really don't see that as a good enough reason.
Yeah, definitely. This sounds like a round and around of just like this dude's bullshitting. And to me, it just sounds like he doesn't like him and he's like, I don't want him to play, so I'm going to make some shit up.
Yeah, and that's actually a good thing you brought that up too, because when I was talking to my friend, he basically said that after digging deeper into like a couple podcast interviews and like a couple other little mini pressers, he basically said that Ralph Kruger, when he is interviewed about certain things, he gives very vague answers to the media that really can't like sway anybody's decision in one way or another. And as a result, those answers kind of come off as what you want to hear maybe, but they're not maybe what you're actually going to do. So he kind of just says it to get through that little checkpoint. And then after that, he's just kind of doing what he wants again. So
pulls a Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, if that's the case and he's saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do all this stuff, like, don't worry, we're going to make it better. Like, we're going to make the Sabres improve all that. But we clearly haven't been seeing any difference. Like, the Sabres are still playing like shit and they're not showing any signs of like picking it up relatively soon. Then clearly it must be a coaching issue because what you're trying to preach in practice is not working. So like, if you keep asking for chances and we keep granting them, like, this season is just going to be over within the next month, especially since it's shortened. And to hire a person that he comes in with his great pitch and all that, like, that's great. If you want to listen to a great pitch, like, if it's something that aligns with your franchise's values, like, yeah, of course you want to sign that. But then if he says he's going to do all these things and then he comes in and doesn't do any of it and he basically just makes a fool out of himself and the club, then like, you have to get rid of him. Like, I personally, with the way this season's going, like, we need to fire him now because clearly there are certain players that don't like him. He's not helping the team improve, and we're not showing any signs of improving from what we've done in the past couple weeks anyhow.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not big on hockey, so I don't really know a whole lot, but
yeah, so I mean, that was basically my rant. I'll re-bring it up after we go over some stuff when Gianni joins on, because he is a major hockey fan and he'll be able to touch on it some more.
Yeah, as a non-hockey fan, I feel obligated to be a Golden Knights fan. So,
I mean, not a bad club to choose.
They're like, oh, there's this new team, and I was like, oh, cool, that's cool. And then they're like, oh, they're the Golden Knights, and I was like, that's my team then.
I mean, literally lines up right with our college's mascot. And I mean, you can't be called a bandwagon because they're literally the freshest team in the league. I mean, if you maybe supported them in the second season, considering they went to the Stanley Cup Finals in their first season, then like maybe, but you're supporting a relatively new team. And if you started supporting them when they first came into the league, like, you can't possibly go wrong. So yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Kraken?
Kraken, I think it's pretty cool. I've seen their jerseys. My friend that I talked to, he likes them. He likes the color scheme. He likes the idea of them. I thought the name's pretty cool. I mean, there weren't really too many options to go with, considering like the Seattle culture basically had to kind of had to form it into this little mold because there's already so many presets before that. But I think they did a pretty good job with designing the jerseys, the name, and I think it's going to be a pretty cool franchise to watch when they come in.
I think so too. Should be pretty cool to see if I actually watch hockey.
Yeah, I know. I used to watch hockey a ton, maybe like 2010 to 2012 ish, and then I just stopped because that's when I got big into watching soccer. But now, like, I want to be able to have an opinion on everything inside the top 4 big sports. So I've started watching all the sports a lot more now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so to move on to the third thing I wanted to talk about, Deshaun Watson. The drama still goes on. He had another meeting this past week.
Still don't want to trade him.
Yep, with the head coach. He basically said, "There's nothing you can do to help me. I don't want to play for this team anymore. Like, please try and trade me." And the first time he did that, the owner and GM basically said, well, I don't care what you think. You're our franchise player. We want to keep you here. And every time they were asked about it, they were like, no, he's a great player. We want to keep him in this franchise. Right now, he's still a Texan. Like, they haven't shown any signs of trying to deal him out and try and get some big value in return. And the longer this goes on, like I'm pretty sure Deshaun Watson has said that if he does not get traded, he will find a way to pay for, the breach of contract, and he will just sit out and constantly pay the fines that he's going to rack up. Because, he does have the money to do so. So
yeah, for sure.
And another thing too, the longer the Texans wait to trade him, the less value teams are going to offer for return. So it's like the Texans are literally just every morning waking up with a pistol and just shooting themselves in the foot and just shooting one of their toes off because they're playing. They have done some of the worst business I have ever seen from an NFL team in the last 2 to 3 years. Like, they basically let D-Hop go for a second-round pick. And now they're refusing to trade arguably, now the best player in their franchise. And he's publicly stated, I don't want to be at this franchise anymore. Like, please trade me. The Texans can get a lot of stuff in return that would help them start rebuilding their franchise. And they're just kind of just playing, they're just lollygagging around, and they're not trying to make any improvement on the situation. They just keep telling, it's like a kid that's unhappy because he keeps getting like told off at the playground. He keeps coming up to the teacher, and the teacher's like, oh no, just go talk to him and you guys will be fine. And then he just keeps coming back. Like, it's not going to fix the issue. You actually have to go hands-on and try and get something done.
Yeah, it's pretty, I don't know, I think it's really dumb. As you said, his trade value is just becoming less as time goes on. What do you think? In your opinion, what is he worth? Did we talk about this last time?
I don't know if we did, but I'll touch on it again.
No, we talked about Carson Wentz last time.
I've seen a lot of people saying he could be possibly worth up to 4 first-round picks. I don't know any team that has 4 first-round picks.
I don't think any.
I don't know how that would go. I definitely think he's worth at least 2.
Yeah, for sure.
In my opinion, I think a fair trade in return, like, just say, for example, he was to come to Buffalo. I think a fair trade in return would be 2 first-round picks and either a QB to replace him or a couple other players that would fill positions that they need help with. Like, I know they just released Duke Johnson too, so they only have David Johnson as another running back that's like semi-decent. But I would say like at least 2 first-round picks and then some players. And like, I've looked at some of the trade schemes that people have formulated. Like, I've seen him involved with 3-team deals, 4-team deals. So like, there's a lot of options out there, but it doesn't seem like the Texans want to do any of it because they're still in this fairy tale land of, oh, one day Deshaun Watson's going to wake up and he's magically going to be like, you know what? I do want to play for this franchise, really? And I do want to help them get better throughout the season. Like, we just showed I think he was the leading QB in passing yards for this season. And they went, 4-12? So like, he literally did everything he could for the season and they still lost almost every game. Like, he doesn't want to do that again. And like J.J. Watt said, they're wasting years of his prime.
And J.J. Watt said he kind of said he wanted out, right?
And then they let him go. They didn't re-sign him, so he's in free agency now too.
So
that whole franchise is a shit show.
And like, that's not even, I don't know, that's just dumb. I don't know. They got a lot of dumb stuff going on over there.
I think it's a lot of stubbornness and people not wanting to face the realization. It's like when you first break up with a girlfriend or a boyfriend from a long time. Like, say you were dating for 3 years. Like, I don't know how long he's been on his deal for now at the Texans. But it's like you've been together all those years. You've built up such a great relationship, and now you've broken up. And Deshaun Watson's moved on, but the Texans haven't moved on. They're still like, oh, maybe he'll come back to us. Like, maybe we'll regain that relationship we had. But no, it's broken completely. Like, you can't fix this.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess, do you want to talk about where you think he'll go? We can talk about that.
Yeah, we could do that. So these are, in my opinion, 3 of the best options that could happen. But like I said, it's my opinion. So like this, obviously none of these could happen. He could actually just stay in Houston, but this is what I would like to see. So I actually have the Seahawks and the Bears in a 3-team trade with the Texans. So obviously recently the QB carousel is, revolving very quickly in this offseason. Russell Wilson has he said he hasn't requested a trade, but he said if a trade is to come out, like, I would do it if these 4 teams are in the mix. So he said I think he would only go to the Bears, the Raiders, the Cowboys, and someone else that I'm forgetting.
The Cowboys need someone.
Exactly. Until Dak comes back, they're going to be hurting too. Andy Dalton's not as good as he was with the Bengals, so
Andy Dalton also wasn't very good with the Bengals, so
yeah. So my formulation for this first trade would be, it would be with the Seahawks and the Bears. Russell Wilson said he would go to the Bears if he was traded there.
Okay.
So Russell Wilson would go to the Bears. Deshaun Watson would go to the Seahawks, and Houston would get whoever would be traded from the Bears. So whether that's
Trubisky, probably
a bunch of players and picks, whether that's, I think, is Nick Foles still with them, right?
Or did he get traded somewhere? I don't know. I know.
Yeah, so it'd be either Trubisky, who I don't even think they actually offered a contract. Like, I think he is a free agent right now. I don't know if either him or Foles.
Yeah, Nick Foles is still on the Bears.
Okay, so then just say theoretically the Bears would give up some picks and Nick Foles to Houston. Houston would give up Deshaun Watson to the Seahawks. The Seahawks would obviously have to the Seahawks would have to give in some probably picks somehow. And then Russell Wilson would go to the Bears. I mean, it's kind of a crazy idea, but
it would be interesting though.
We've seen some crazy shit happen. My second would be, for obviously a lot of speculation was that if any trade happens, he's going to go to Miami because they have Tua, who could possibly be a very promising youngster who could develop into a very good QB. They definitely have draft picks, and they definitely have assets on the team, both on offense and defense, that could be offered as leverage. Obviously, I think Miami was definitely, in my opinion, top 5, if not the best defense in the league last year.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know they have weapons on offense too. I mean, Devontae Parker, he's injury prone and he's 28, but he's still pretty good. And then, like I said, they have they have other good players too.
They got Fitzmagic still.
Yeah, they still have Fitzmagic too.
So. Did you see he was looking to he's convinced he can start somewhere still, so he would be up for a trade as well.
Oh, okay.
So he said they're like, let it be known, Ryan Fitzpatrick has already started for 8 teams in the NFL. So
maybe make it a 9th this year.
Yeah, and they were talking. I mean, it was obviously a joke, but well, maybe not obviously a joke, but he's already been with the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins, so he only needs one more team in that division. So take a look at the Pats maybe, but I mean, they need someone instead of Cam Newton, in my opinion.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, also to touch on Cam Newton, you've seen his comments, I'm sure, where he went on I think it was the I Am Athlete podcast, which is hosted by Chad Ochocinco and a few others of his friends. He basically said, he was asked a question, I think, by Brandon Marshall, and he said, there are not 32 guys better than me. So he still believes he can get a starting job too, which I do think he can still start. He's just nowhere near as good as he used to be.
I don't see. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see him playing anywhere else. I don't see anyone looking at what he did this year and saying we need that on my team. So
yeah, like now I think he's 32 now, maybe almost 33. Like at this point, a lot of he doesn't want to be a backup, but teams are starting to look forward with the QBs that they've had that are young, that they've been on a team for a couple years now. If anybody brings him in, I can only see people bringing him in. I mean, he's definitely a backup. Like he's good enough to be a backup, but people are going to start bringing him in now for like a lot of veteran mentorship. And okay, what did you do very well when you were in your prime? How can you help younger guys, take that on and use that to their advantage?
Yeah, but I mean, even then, Cam Newton in his prime was a very different quarterback than most.
That's very true. He didn't have a busted shoulder. He didn't have a busted ankle. He could throw and run, and he can still somewhat scramble, but he can't throw it anymore.
Mm-mm. So
that's why we all thought the Patriots offense would be pretty good for him because it's all based on short passing, but he still had a bad year. I mean, that Patriots team was nowhere near as good as it was with Brady. They had a lot of very good defensive players opt out.
But that's true.
Still, the offense was suited to a QB like Cam now, and it still didn't work out.
So that was that was interesting. I don't know. Cam Newton is just not the man he was.
Yeah. And then the third and final trade that I thought up for Deshaun Watson was the Broncos. He's actually said that out of the teams that he's thought about getting traded to, the Broncos are actually very high up on his list, which I know will be good news for Tim because Tim's a Broncos fan. So like I'm sure he wouldn't mind getting Deshaun Watson. That's very good.
And literally anybody instead of not anybody, but Drew Lock is not the guy in my opinion.
No, I don't think so either. I think he's too inconsistent. He'll have one good game and then he'll have three very bad games. And in the NFL, you need to win at least 10 games to get into the playoffs nowadays, unless you're in the NFC East, which is just a shit.
Yeah, in which case you win 4 and you make it.
Exactly. So I don't think Drew Lock can win you 10 games, no matter how good the weapons are around you and how good your O-line is.
Especially in the AFC. Oh, wait, no.
Denver's AFC West, where they have the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Raiders, who are all teams that can beat you. Like we saw the Raiders beat the Chiefs last year when no one else could.
Yep.
I don't know what they did on defense that day, but it just worked.
I mean, I think part of that is they play them twice a year, every year. So
that's very true. You get a better understanding. So yeah, like you said, I think they could offer Drew Lock in return. I don't know what draft picks the Broncos own right now, but obviously they have to give up some of those too. And the Broncos definitely have some good players on defense too. Like I know Kareem Jackson, he's pretty good. He's one of their safeties. Justin Simmons, also a good safety for them. They also have AJ Bouye, who I think was injured most of the season, if not the whole season. But he also would be pretty good. And then, like I said, on offense, they could offer back Drew Lock as some compensation, so they're not just shit out of luck without a QB.
Did the Broncos release Von Miller as well?
I don't know if they actually did cut him yet or not, but I think they're definitely going to with the comments that he made. So,
well,
what's up, Gianni?
I can't see anyone else.
Can't see anybody.
This is the Broncos are expected to make it make sense with Von Miller.
Yeah, I mean, I assume they're gonna cut him if they haven't already. So, I mean, look for him to be a free agent as well, I would assume, unless something happens in the next few days.
Yeah, I'll only be on for like 5-10 minutes.
All right.
I gotta go. I gotta go. My friend's house after. They're just like, "Yo, you coming over?" So like, all right.
All right, well, I guess Liam, did you have anything else to talk about? Because then, if not, we could ask Gianni what he wanted to talk about.
I mean, if he said I go, we can talk about what he wants to quick, and then
all right,
whatever I got later.
Yeah, that's fine. So, what did you want to bring up, Gianni?
Oh, I was gonna talk about the poop thing or whatever.
All right, go ahead.
I thought because I asked my friends too, because I was like, I seen that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, I'm gonna ask my friends about that. So
yeah, so let me just give a little backstory to it. So I was in my 8 a.m. lecture for statistics course, and my professor, who had her kids in the background, she heard them screaming, and she was like, oh, damn, I think my kids just missed the bus. And then she was like, that actually reminds me, the other day I was talking to my kids, and one of my kids came up to me and was like, oh, Mom, is poop rotten? And she was like, well, I guess like technically it is because it's like decomposed food inside your intestines. But then another one of her kids was like, no, there's no way it's rotten because like it's not actually food still. Like it's all decomposed and stuff like that. So then her kids and her got into a debate about whether poop was rotten or not.
And like, was this in class? No. This was
out of class, but she was telling you this in class.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So continue, Gianni.
All right. So to get my opinion on it, I don't think poop is rotten.
Very, very simple answer. I agree.
Why don't you think poop is rotten?
Why?
Basically because if you're thinking like technical terms, like when you eat food, it's fresh. So it only takes like 24 hours for like something like that. How many hours it takes for it to go like completely through your body? It's like not a crazy amount of time. So I think like if you're thinking like if you like leave an apple out, it's gonna take like a few days for it to actually start to rot. So the time for it takes for fresh food to go through your body
24 to 72 hours.
Yeah, so like a day and a half. So I think it's just like it takes way less time to go through your body, but it's like fresh food that you put in your body. So like when you poop it out, it's still like pretty much fresh, but
fresh poop, eh?
Yeah, it's fresh poop. So I don't know. I think it's more fresh than it is rotten.
It's honestly a pretty good take. Like I haven't looked into it too much, but I kind of agree with both of you guys. Like I don't really see how poop is rotten. Like I think of it, like you said, when you eat food, it's most likely fresh going into your body.
No, I eat rotten food all the time.
So like for the food to rot, like you said, it has to sit out of the environment it's supposed to be stored in for a certain amount of time. So like the same thing goes for poop. Unless you're like constipated and you have a shit inside of you for like 2 weeks straight, like it's just gonna come out naturally in a certain amount of time. So like
even then, I feel like it's not
fresh.
I feel like that's not rotten anyway, because I don't know. In my opinion,
I don't even see how you could apply the term rotten to.
I don't think you could either. That's just like not relevant to the conversation. And someone was like, "Let's make a conversation out of this."
Mm-hmm.
Poop is really just like
it's like because it's waste product, so there's nothing in it that was.
Poop is just stuff like your body don't need.
Yeah, like the only argument
that could be rotten anyway.
Yeah, the only argument I could see for it is technically things that are rotting are decomposing, and like your body is decomposing all that extra food into fecal matter that hasn't been absorbed. So like that's the only scientific argument I could see. I'll have to do some research about this after. But I mean, like other than that, I can't really see any argument you could make for it.
I'm pretty sure poop like rots at its own pace anyways.
I would assume so.
Like doesn't turn like white and shit like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, when you poop, it's just fresh poop. So then it would rot after that, right?
That's what I was also thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like your poop, like it's fresh, so it's gonna like rot. It's gonna rot. Like
it's gonna have to decompose at its own rate. It's gonna have to rot by itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we just cracked the code. We're geniuses.
I think so too. You should tell your professor that we've talked about this on our podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her to watch the episode.
We figured it out. So poop Poop is not rotten, but it rots like at its own pace.
Yeah.
It will.
It isn't rotten, but it can rot.
It will eventually rot.
We'll just say that. All right. I guess just before you leave, then I guess we'll just do this real quick. So I want to rank all 31 goal horns on how they sound from ugliest to most appealing.
Are we gonna do like a 0 to 100 scale?
No, I have a little tier list chart that I found a template online. And so I'm just going to play them. I tested the audio already. Liam said that the audio is like relatively good to hear. So there shouldn't be too many issues. And I'll just play each horn and then you can rank.
But what if we're like, wow, that one's good, but then there's one better than that?
Oh, we'll adjust it at the end. Even if Gianni's not here, if we get through all of them, then we can adjust them.
Gotcha.
So I'll start sharing my screen. Okay. So are you guys able to see that well?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. So let me pull up the tier list.
Hey, now, are you doing it from alphabetical order?
Yeah, it's in alphabetical order.
All right, so Arizona is like first and whatever.
Anaheim is, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Anaheim, then like Arizona.
Yeah. This will be the list we're using. So we got fire, good, okay, meh, bad, and just absolutely disgusting.
Okay. Well, we could put Anaheim as absolutely disgusting.
Hey, you don't know that. You have your own opinion.
I could already tell you that Anaheim is dog.
Dog water.
I don't have to hear it.
All right, let me just format this real quick.
I don't got it.
Oh, actually, I should probably leave those on the same if it's screen sharing the whole thing. All right. So you guys can see everything, both tabs well?
All
right. So first one, like I said, we will start off with Anaheim.
When the video goes.
It's not even that
bad. That's not very good in my opinion.
And it plays it for about 20 seconds. Okay, so that was Anaheim's goal horn.
I don't like it.
That's a meh for me.
We know Gianni wants disgusting, but I also agree it's a meh.
Can we just agree and put it in bad, like put it in the middle?
I guess that's fair.
Fine. I think the song makes it a little better too.
Fair enough.
The song makes it better, but it's still bad.
All right, Arizona.
That's a good one for me.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Every time I enjoy that goal horn, especially this one.
I think that one deserves at least a good. We can move it up later, but I think it's at least a good.
That might be a fire. That might be fire.
Nah, I think it's good. I don't think it's fire, but I think it's good.
All right. If we think it's better than a lot of these that we hear, then we'll move it up.
I agree.
All right. Up next is the Boston Bruins.
I think it's pretty basic. I think every Pee-wee hockey team has that goal song. They have that goal horn song and like a pretty basic goal horn. I think it's like right in the middle.
Yeah, that's like an okay
I could agree
meh.
with meh. I could agree with meh.
All right,
we'll put it right there. All right, on to the next. Doesn't even. All right, I mean, my opinion's biased. I think the Sabres one is okay. I think the song goes with it. It gets the crowd involved, and the horn is. I think the horn's pretty good, especially with the 3 bursts of it.
I think it's good.
I was gonna say bad. I did not like that.
We got a bad, a good, and an okay.
Shit. I guess throw it for okay. I guess.
I was gonna say I got final decision. I'm putting it okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty deep. I think it should be an okay then. Like I could agree with okay.
All right. On to the next Flames. I thought that one was okay.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
That was okay.
Mm.
My God.
That was.
I don't know how long it's been since I've heard that horn, but that is the worst goal horn and song I've ever heard.
That is disgusting.
That is disgusting. I love the jerseys, hate the goal horn.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. That is disgusting.
Is that the Colorado? Is that Colorado?
I'm gonna make sure Matt sees this.
That's Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carolina. That's right.
I agree with you. I love the jerseys. That is the most disgusting goal horn I've ever heard.
That needs a revise.
I'm gonna go with.
I thought that one was meh. I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That was pretty
pauses
basic.
between the goal horn were too long.
Yeah, I think it's a meh. To be honest, I'm not really fond of the Blackhawks or their goal horn.
Yeah.
That one's also, I think
that one's at most a meh.
I like the sound of it, but I didn't like the duration and the song. Not a good choice. It's a meh for me.
It could be worse. Yeah, it's a meh. That one's also a meh.
I'm pretty sure what we're gonna do is like
I forgot in there that big blast you heard. If you actually go to a Columbus game, they actually fire off a cannon.
Yeah, that's a cannon. I actually really like Columbus's goal horn, their song, and the cannon.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's at least an okay for me.
I like everything but the horn though.
The horn, it honestly, it kind of like pierced your ear in the tail end of it.
No,
it was just too long, in my opinion.
I really like the beginning of it because it kind of like it doesn't like go straight into it. It kind of like it goes like it kind of like goes into it. Like, but I don't know. I really like that part. So I think it's at least a good to an okay.
Yeah,
I would say okay, I guess.
So you're saying okay?
Like I don't know.
We'll put it. Yeah, we'll leave it right there for now. I thought the goal horn was okay. I don't see how that song gets your crowd hype at all.
Me either. I would say meh.
Yeah, I was just gonna say meh.
I'll agree with you. I'll say meh.
You want bad, don't you?
I don't know. I think it's all like kind of weirdly put together. So I don't know. I think it was a little bit bad.
I thought the song was gonna like pick up, and I think they were just saying like, what were they just saying, like "Go Stars, go" or something like that.
They're like, they're saying Dallas Stars, so they're just saying the team name.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't be opposed to putting that bad.
Oh, do we want a bad for that one?
I would like a bad for that one.
All right, I can agree with that.
Yeah, that one wasn't.
That was. I think it was meh. I was gonna say it was okay, but I don't think it's as good as these ones.
I was gonna say okay.
You're gonna say okay? I don't know where the hell Gianni went. I mean,
He probably had to go.
He dip already?
I think so.
I'm gonna text him real quick. All right, so you want okay, I want meh. Can I like add something in between? You know what?
I mean,
we'll leave
put
it
it meh.
now. I'll put it at the front of the list. I'll leave it for now.
Okay.
I feel like this man's Wi-Fi just like cut out or something because my text won't even deliver to him. All right, we'll go to the next one. All right, so for me personally, I really like Edmonton's. I think that's good.
I mean, I like the horn, the sound, the music after didn't really do anything for me. I would say okay.
Okay, I could settle for an okay.
I like that Bobcat sound.
Kind of like that. I think that was fire.
I was gonna say good, but it's up to you. Again, you have the controls.
Oh man, I really think it's fire. Okay, do you think it's good enough to be fire, or do you not think it has that extra step?
I don't think it's better than the Coyotes.
All right, I'll put it here for now then.
We can go back and listen to both of them afterwards.
Yeah. What did we say this one was too? Were we gonna put this one at meh?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'll just remember to come back to those. Oh fuck. I thought that was pretty good, not gonna lie.
I thought that was good too.
All right. We agree on good.
I get why you guys had it, why whoever made it had so thick too. Because know it's fine.
Meh.
That was kind of, I don't know, that was meh, I think. I think they played the horn way too long.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, I'm sure that would be sick in person, but, like, just listening to it, I think it's a meh.
Agreed.
It's going to be pretty awkward. You think your back is going to be up against it, but then you're going to
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
I think it's bad. I don't think it's disgusting. It's definitely. You think it's as bad as this one?
It was okay. It sounded like a car horn, not a train horn, and it was just so long. It was terrible.
But you think it's as bad as this one?
No, I want there to be something in between bad and disgusting. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm willing to put it at bad if we can get another opinion on it before the.
That's fine.
All right. It's definitely way worse than these two though.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's like some
I know in real life they do finish it. They do finish it with the "I like it, I love it, I want some more of it."
I don't like that.
Really, I thought it was okay.
I thought it. Well, I guess it was a meh for me, but.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Not gonna lie, thought that was bad.
I thought that was bad too.
Perfect.
Sounded like someone was playing the harmonica really poorly.
I mean, like the song maybe could have saved it at the end.
Yeah.
And it probably doesn't help that I don't know what song that was.
Yeah, me either.
But it just the horn wasn't very appealing at all to begin with. I thought that one was good, honestly.
I was at okay.
Okay, maybe.
That's where I was at.
Good with okay. All right, I'm willing to put it at okay. I wonder if we might have to adjust our ratings here. We don't have anything in fire yet. We're getting close.
I know.
I thought that was meh.
Yeah, me too.
Perfect. Makes that easy. I'm just waiting for like one of these to go into extra gear.
I know.
We might have just found it.
I think that's pretty fucking good.
I'm willing to put that in fire if you are. I fucking love that one.
I want to put that in fire too.
I like that. I'm willing to put that in fire. Like everyone knows that song.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the horn wasn't too bad. It was kind of unique from all the other ones we've heard. We haven't heard anybody pulse it 3 times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I dig that one.
That was a meh for me.
I thought it was bad.
I could be persuaded to bad.
All right, I'm putting it at bad then. I didn't like that one.
Too long.
The initial horn, yeah, it was too long. Kind of had my ears ringing a little bit, and I didn't even know what the song was.
Couldn't even understand the music.
Yeah. See, now I gotta know because that one is not bad, but is not bad, good, okay, or meh.
Right. I think there was. I thought that was pretty good, but I don't think it wasn't as good as the other three.
I'm willing to go okay.
I think so too.
All right. Yeah, that was kind of tough because I was like, it's not bad. It's definitely not as bad as these, but it's not this good.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Bro, you know what that song reminds me of?
What?
Have you ever seen the movie, I think it's called Bring It On, with the cheerleaders? It's basically a whole movie dedicated to a cheerleading event.
Maybe.
That's like, I'm pretty sure that's the main song they perform, but they end up performing it after another team has already performed that song. So they come out and they're like, the whole crowd's like, oh, what the hell is going on here? That's exactly what that reminds me of. And I don't like how they played the horn, which wasn't too bad, and then they started the song, and then just blared the horn again right over the song.
Not a fan.
I think it was meh.
I think it was meh too.
Yeah, when I hear that horn, it just reminds me of the movie Bring It On. It's honestly not a bad movie, like if you get the chance to watch the movie, but
okay. That sounded like, oh man, that was pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
it sounded like someone was like, "Hang on, I know how to play the organ," and just went. Da, 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 da.
Like, it could go to bad, but it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
My ears.
That was entirely too long.
I think that was bad.
I think that was bad.
Definitely wasn't good.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure like that's probably way better in the arena because the Lightning, I think they have LED lights on the plexiglass holders, so the lights like go on when they score it. And I think they actually have a Tesla coil in the arena that like lights up with lightning when they score too.
Oh, that's gotta be pretty cool.
But
for my ears, not good.
Not a fan of the horn, yeah. Not at all. I think it's okay.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I really want to put it good just because of the song, but the horn just like the horn really brought it down.
Yeah, I feel that. Again, I think it's like meh to okay.
I just think I mean, based on the Maple Leafs one, it wasn't as good as that, so I'd put it meh.
Okay.
What is a Canuck?
It's like a whale. Like their mascot's an orca whale.
Huh.
So.
Why couldn't they just be the Vancouver Orca Whales?
Because that sounds dumb as fuck.
How does Canuck sound better?
Because it's like simplified.
But it's making up words.
It's a real thing.
Is it really?
Yes. Okay, now I gotta look this up.
I gotta look it up too.
Canuck is a slang term for a Canadian.
What's a Canadian? Just like a person?
Yeah, like as in a Canadian person. Oh, yeah, okay. This team, people want this team to rename themselves because too many people are getting offended. They're like, oh, you're using a slang term for a Canadian person.
Huh. Isn't there already Canadians, though?
Yeah, there's the Montreal Canadiens. Well, that sucks. People are going to have to nut up.
Yeah, facts.
Oh, well. So, my fault. Not a whale. It's just a person. Oops. So this Vegas one, I thought it was meh.
I thought it was meh.
I didn't like the song, and the horn just went over it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go with meh. I'll restart the Capitals one real quick. As much as I don't like the police siren, like, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was my thought. I mean, I don't think it's good enough to be good. So I would go with okay.
I'm good with putting it in okay. At the end, too, we will quickly review. We'll listen to these three again to see if we want to bump any of them up.
Sounds good.
Because I guess Gianni had to leave because his friends were more important. So he didn't even text me back. So. That was like the most genuine train horn I've heard out of all of them.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's definitely one of these two.
Yeah. I'm feeling meh.
Meh? I'm good with meh. All right, so now we'll go back and listen to the Coyotes, the Kings, and the Panthers. All right, so first we'll start with the Coyotes. Honestly, I'm willing to put that in fire.
I was thinking so too.
I'm thinking it's pretty good. Like, and the effects with the actual animal, they're pretty good. All right, so next we got the Kings. I guess we have the Panthers first.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind moving that up either.
I do like it, but personally what ruins it for me is like the little transition after the Bobcat, like, I don't know, what would it be called? A growl, I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I don't know, the song I don't know, the weird transition between the sound effect and the actual song itself kind of like ruined it for me at the end. But I do still like it a lot. Like I still think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with keeping it good, or do you really think it should go here?
I don't really think it should be there.
All right. Now, last one, we got the Kings. I think that one can stay in good as well.
I think I can stay where it is.
All right. So we calling that the final list then?
I think that's the final list, brother.
All righty. I need to save that. All righty. Well, I guess after that, then do you have anything else that you want to talk about? Because that was the last little bit of a topic that I wanted to go over and kind of just have fun
I
with.
wanted to talk about Tiger Woods real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I assume most people know that he got into a fairly bad accident. It was just the one car. They said under no influence. It was just an accident. I don't know, driving too fast, missed a turn or something. I don't know. I didn't read the entire thing, but he had to get a lot of surgery done, I guess. He got some what does it say? It was fractures to the right, to his lower right leg, had to get a rod in his tibia and screws and pins in the right foot and ankle.
Damn.
So yeah, it was that's a lot of shit. I mean, he's 45 now. So that's a big surgery for someone. I mean, golf is not as taxing as other sports, obviously, but for someone he just got back from a back injury, so he was kind of just like back on track from what I thought, and then he just had this accident. So, glad he's doing okay. He said he's in pretty good spirits after getting out of surgery, but that is super unfortunate, and I'm sure a lot of people support him. So
yeah, and like you said, it kind of sucks that this happened to him after he had kind of revived his career and showed that he's still got it, and he's still one of the best, if not still the best golfer in history. Maybe not history, I don't know, that's debatable, but active amongst other golfers. I think he's definitely still top 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know. Hopefully, I saw there was footage released at the scene of the accident, but I didn't watch any of it. Hopefully he's better. Hopefully his family's doing all right.
But yeah, he said, I don't know. They said his car rolled a few times, all like off into the bushes or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, that's huge. Like it was at like 7:00 in the morning. He's going to like a photo shoot or something with some other important people, and then just like accidents happen.
And then it's not good that he got into an accident, but at least it's good that it only happened like as a result of his driving. Like it's good that it didn't happen like he had fallen back under the influence of something.
Right. Or that was what I thought originally. It's like, oh, did he is he having issues again? But accidents happen, so I'm glad that that's what it was and not him having substance issues again. But yeah, I guess that's all I got. I want to talk about basketball. We can do that when it gets closer.
Yeah, we could do that. Then we could do it next week. Cause wait, when does the All-Star game happen?
I think the 15th.
So would a whole week go by then? We'd have time to cover it, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Sunday, March 7th. Oh, so next weekend?
So it's gonna happen next Sunday. So yeah, I guess if you want, then we can hold that till next episode.
Yeah, talk about it next week.
We can cover it right before it actually happens. That way we'd have
Sounds good.
a better idea of what's gonna go on.
That's good with me.
Yeah, that works for me. All right. So I guess if neither of us have anything left to talk about, then that's where we can call it.
Sounds good.
If you're watching this on YouTube, much appreciated for the viewership. Like I said last episode, if you guys have any suggestions of what we can improve on, I know the camera quality probably isn't the best from either of us. Trust me. I'm hopefully going to start saving up for a PC once this semester's over. I'm going to get a job and restart saving up some money for that. So, hopefully some people can join us that can hopefully make the viewing experience a little better. But for now, this is all we have to work with. We'll fall into the cliche of broke college students, so we don't have too much to work with. But like I said before, thank you very much for watching. Liam and I enjoy doing this each weekend. I know he wasn't originally planned to start with us, but he's been more than eager to come on and talk about some stuff happening.
Absolutely.
So once again, much appreciated for anybody that's watching or listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.